A dramatic power struggle has erupted at the headquarters of Nigeria's main opposition party, the PDP. Two rival factions clashed violently earlier today for control of the party's national secretariat in Abuja. The confrontation pitted the faction led by Governors Seyi Makinde and Bala Mohammed against the group loyal to FCT Minister Wike. The chaos escalated to the point that police fired multiple rounds of tear gas to disperse the fighting supporters. In a dramatic turn, Minister Wike arrived at the scene, driving through the lingering tear gas, but his faction had already been forcibly removed from the building by the rival group. Well, joining us now to discuss this further is the immediate past chairman, Rivers State PDP, Dr. Robinson Ewor. Good to have you on Newsday. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So I would like you to react, to the drama that played out at the PDP Secretariat today. And of course, we've heard reports of the faction, the PDP-NEC faction, loyal to Nyesom Wike, expelling Governor Makinde, Bala Mohammed, Bode George, and others. What are your thoughts on all that played out?
Thank you very much. What is playing out at the PDP headquarters today is shameful. Very, very shameful. Is avoidable. And it shouldn't have happened at all. First, the PDP has a constitution. As members of the party, we ought to respect our constitution. The PDP constitution makes provision for a national convention. The PDP constitution also makes provision for penalties for those involved in anti-party activities and for actions taken by individual party members that will bring the party to disrepute. First, the PDP held its national convention over the last weekend. The party made landmark decisions. Certain individuals, including the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike, Samuel Ayamu, etc., were suspended from the party. Going forward, the party elected a new national executive working committee. That is what the party constitution says. FCT minister, like I've said in different fora, can go ahead and register his own political party, and that will fare well. The FCT minister, Anyanwu, and others, they have been involved in anti-party activities over the years, not just this year. In 2023, during the presidential election, the FCT minister did not support the presidential candidate of the PDP. And today, on national TV, both in private and in public discussion, he has made it clear that he will support the current president, which is APC. That is against the constitution of the party. And the constitution of the party says if a member gets involved in anti-party activity, that the party must apply sanction. The party applied the appropriate sanction during the convention by expelling him. Today, the FCT minister ought not to mobilize thugs to the party secretariat. What the FCT minister has resorted to today is self-help. The FCT minister is resorting to self-help, which is not good for our democracy. It is not also good for the image of our great party, the PDP. What the FCT minister is displaying is not the vision and the mission of the founding fathers of our great party. Our founding fathers have a vision that the PDP will provide leadership, good governance for Nigerians. That is the vision and mission of our founding fathers. Today, the FCT minister has introduced brigandage, hooliganism, and self-help to the system. It is not good for the image of the party. it is not good for our democracy. I will go further to call on the president to take a closer look at what is happening at the PDP today, at the PDP headquarters today. If his own minister is doing all this and he keeps quiet, what it means is that he is the enabler. What it means is that he is part of what the FCT minister is doing. Because he has the authority, the power, the right to call the FCT minister to order, but he's not doing it. The president is in a position to ensure that order is restored at the party secretariat, PDP headquarters, but he's not doing it. What do we do as a people? We must continue to be law-abiding. We must continue to defend democracy. But Nigerians should know and see that the FCT minister has brought the party to disrepute, to shame. He's no longer a member of the party. What is he doing at the national headquarters of the party? You are working for an APC government. You have made it clear that the party that you will support, you and your supporters will support President Tinubu. What are you doing at PDP? Such a person cannot be tolerated by the party anymore. Thank you.
Now, Dr. Ewor, you know, using your own words, when we started the interview, you said what played out at the PDP headquarters is shameful. But then I'm wondering, you know, how does this show of shame, how does this show of shame, you know, that took place in Abuja, how does it affect the legitimacy of the leadership constituted at the Ibadan Convention? And how do you think INEC would react to its outcome?
What is happening today has nothing to do with the Ibadan Convention. The Ibadan Convention has come and gone. The FCT minister and others were suspended. That suspension remains in place. Our constitution says that any decision the convention takes cannot be overturned until the next convention, which is the next 4 years. All the decisions, every decisions made in Ibadan will remain upturned until the next convention, which is the next 4 years. Whatever thing the FCT minister is doing today at the PDP headquarters in Abuja and his cohorts is merely null and void. They have resorted to self-help. Self-help is not part of our constitution. Self-help is not part of our norm. Self-help is not part of the PDP constitution. Self-help is not also part of the Nigerian constitution. They are simply dragging the party into a path the party didn't bargain for. So whatever thing they are doing today is null and void. It goes further to tell Nigerians the character, what they are make up. There is no sense of decency in them. Morally, they are not there. So whatever thing they are doing today doesn't affect the convention. And for the INEC is guided by the law. INEC will always be guided by the rule of law. INEC cannot take whatever thing that is going on today as an action that should affect the operation or should determine the operation. They will be guided by law and they will continue to be guided by law.
Now, you've asked the president to call Nyesom Wike to order, but the FCT minister has said that the PDP should not field a presidential candidate in 2027 as a condition for peace. What does this condition imply about Wike's relationship with President Tinubu and the ruling APC?
That tells you the deep relationship the FCT minister has with the APC. For him to give the PDP condition not to field a presidential candidate in the 2027 general election, that tells you the deep root, how rooted he is in the APC. But PDP as a party, as a political party, have every right to field candidate in the 2027 election. The FCT minister, the PDP, doesn't belong to him. The PDP is not a sole proprietorship. It's not a one-man business. It is not his party. PDP is not a miloko. PDP is a party owned by Nigeria. PDP has a convention, has a NEC, has NWC, BOT, Nigerian Governors Forum, including all organs. It's not a one-man party. It is not FCT minister's party. If it is his party, he can decide not to field a candidate. PDP will field a candidate in the 2027 general election. That condition alone should go further to tell you that the FCT minister is nowhere near peace. It's nowhere near reconciliation because he's deep in APC and he will pursue APC agenda. There's no way he can pursue PDP agenda.
Now, does the PDP in its current state possess the cohesion and organizational strength needed to mount a serious challenge to the APC in 2027?
Well, like we all know, the party has been battered. The Happy has been so battered. They have so destroyed the party. That is, the party is at the point of picking up the pieces, re-energize, re-engineer, and then get prepared for the 2027 election. The question the Nigerians should be asking, have they not done enough damage to the party? Have they not destroyed the party enough? What else did they want in the party? The party was founded by others. It is not the FCT minister and co. So let him allow the party to be. He should allow the party to be. It is a party that belongs to Nigerians. Let Nigerians decide the fate of the party and not him. He should simply allow the party to be.
Now, what mechanisms can the PDP put in place to prevent a recurrence of this leadership crisis, and move away from personality-driven politics into being a truly democratic platform?
I think the easiest way for PDP, the easiest way is for the president to call his minister to order. Let the president call his minister to order. Let him stop enabling him. He should stop enabling him. Because whatever the FCT minister is doing today is being enabled by the president and the APC. Let the APC give PDP a breathing space. Let them give PDP a breathing space.
I'd like us to talk about the governors who dissociated themselves from the expulsion of Wike, at the Ibadan convention, like Amadou Fintiri and Caleb Muftwang. How much influence will that have on your party going forward? Are you worried, that this might trigger a wave of defection?
The PDP is made up of members. The convention is comprised of delegates. The delegates made their decision at the convention. It is not about governors or no governors. They have defected. We have had days of defection. They have defected enough. Even if others leave today and a single governor remains, we can still pick up the pieces and move on. I'm confident that if the APC leave the PDP alone, even if every governor defects and it remains one, even if none remain, PDP will pick up the pieces and move on. But let the enablers stop enabling those destroying the PDP. That is the challenge we have before us today. They have enablers. Let the enablers stop and let's see how far we can go. As to Amadou Fintiri and the other governors that dissociated themselves, you see, democracy, majority, minority must have their say, and majority must have their way. They were in the convention. The convention voted, and voted overwhelmingly to expel the FCT minister and others. They have a right to say yes, to say no. But the majority, overwhelming majority in the convention voted yes. If they want to leave the party just like the other governors have left, let them leave. But they shouldn't kill the party. Let them leave the party for Nigerians. Nigerians can pick up the pieces and rebuild the party. Nigerians need PDP. We need opposition in this country. That is what the PDP stand for. Let them allow PDP to breathe air. and allow PDP to survive.
Now, but is it really fair, to blame the APC for all the misfortunes of the PDP? I recall that the PDP has been going downhill since 2015, due to several reasons, like selection of candidates, money politics, strongman politics, lack of internal democracy. Have all these issues been adequately dealt with?
All the issues are there, and they are there in all the political parties, not just the PDP. But the bigger challenge the PDP is facing today is the FCT minister, which is being enabled by the APC. If the FCT minister today is not being enabled by the APC, PDP can pick up the pieces and move on. The challenges will always be there. This is a third world democracy. Those challenges must be there. It is not just in PDP, it is in all the party. It is not just in Nigeria, it is all over Africa. Those challenges, money, strong man, they are there in Nigerian and African politics. They must be there. But today in PDP, we have the FCT minister being enabled by the APC that is causing this havoc that is causing to the PDP.
Well, it does seem like there's always one issue or the other with the PDP. Well, we hope that this time the party gets it right and that it's able to put its house in order. Dr. Robinson Ewor, Rivers State PDP Chairman, thank you so much for joining us on Newsday.